So today we're going to learn about something called the discriminant. Discriminant. Let me make double sure that I spelled that correctly. Is it D-E or D-I? I never know. That's right. Discriminant. Okay? Now what the discriminant is, it's just b squared minus 4ac. Alright? That's all it is. And you might notice that that is a familiar thing. Where's that familiar from, Justin? It's the inside the square root part in the quadratic formula. Okay? So it so happens that if b squared minus 4ac is bigger than 0, the discriminant tells you something. If you discriminate, you kind of make choices about things. So the discriminant tells you about how many answers you're going to have to a quadratic equation. That's what it tells you. Okay? So if you have if within ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, you just look at b squared minus 4ac. If it's bigger than 0, that tells you something. Then you have two solutions. And that means if it's a positive number, then you will have two solutions. Okay? If the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, and two solutions means that your graph is your parabola which you're graphing is going to cross the x-axis in two spots. So you're going to be looking for two answers when you do that. Okay? If b squared minus 4ac equals 0, guess how many solutions you're going to have? Think about it. You're solving this quadratic thing and you get 2 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 5. Say this is your answer. How many answers do I have to that when I solve that for x? What's 2 plus 0? Divided by 5? What's 2 divided by 5? I mean, what would I just write? Keep it as a fraction. 2 over 5. What's 2 minus 0? 2 divided by 5 is 2 over 5. So if this thing inside the square root thing is equal to 0, then how many answers am I going to have? 1! Yes! 1 solution. So what that means is it just exactly touches the x-axis at 1 point. Okay? So if b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then you have 1 solution. Okay? And guess what happens if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, meaning it's a negative number. Negative. What if I went through and I used a quadratic formula and I said I get 3 plus, say my answer is 3 plus negative square root of 37 over 5. Can I take the square root of a negative number?
No.
No. So how many answers am I going to have? Sounds like fun. Starts with N.
1.
None. Okay. Sounds like fun. None. Okay. Negative. No solutions. And just because there's no solutions doesn't mean there's no graph that goes with it. What it means is you have a graph that never touches the x-axis. Okay? So if you have b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, meaning you have a negative number inside the square root thing, okay? Then you will have no solution because this cannot be solved unless you use imaginary numbers, and you don't learn about imaginary numbers until you take algebra 2 in a year or 2. Okay? And so that's basically what the discriminant says. Okay? That's all it is. So we'll do a couple examples. Say you have, example. X squared equals 3x squared minus 5x equals 1. And all they say is how many solutions to this quadratic equation. First, before you do it, you have to get what onto the left side? What has to be on the left side? Ryan? What does it have to be equal to on the right side? 0, right? So how do I get 0 over here? Subtract 1. So before I can do anything, whoops, wrong tool, I have to get 0 on the left side. And when I do that, I get 3x squared minus 5x. You can't subtract 1 from 5x, so it's just minus 1 equals 0. And now I plug into the discriminant. B squared minus 4ac. Okay? So what's b squared, Ryan? What's b squared in this case? No, that's a. What's b?
5x.
Okay, what's negative 5 squared? Negative 5 times negative 5. What? No, not negative 25, positive 25. Okay? So be careful with that. So that answer would be, this would be negative 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 1. And I get 25 equals, or minus, sorry, minus 4 times 3 times negative 1. What's that? Is it minus or plus? Plus 12. And all you have to know is this a positive number, a negative number, or 0? Positive number. How many solutions? How many solutions? If b squared minus 4ac is a greater than 0, then you have 2 solutions. That's all you have to do for this. You don't even have to solve. You just have to tell how many solutions there are. How many times that graph would cross the x-axis. Okay? So just like that. And I'm not sure what this graph looks like, but what I do know is that it's going to cross the x-axis twice. And so when you're looking for answers, you know you're going to have 2 answers. Okay? Another example, 2 more examples, and a word problem, and then I'll be done. Okay? Let's try another one. You try. Should we do a you try? Let's just do a me try, and then we'll do a you try. Okay, whoops, what happened? I'm going to make one up. Okay. I'm going to make one up. Minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5. How? Fine. Let's do minus 5. Minus 5. 4x. 4x. Sorry. Minus 5. How many solutions? Oops. Equals 0. Equal effort. How many solutions? That's what happens when I make problems up. How many solutions? Okay? What's b squared? 16. So all you have to do is plug into b squared minus 4 times a times c. So b squared is 16 minus 4. What's a? Shania, what's a? Negative 3. What's c? Negative 5. So let's look. We have 16. What's a minus times a minus times a minus? Is that going to be a negative number or a positive number? Negative number. Okay? So I have 4 times 3 times 5. 12 times 5. Anyone know what 12 times 5 is? Negative 60. Thank you. When I do this, do I get a negative number or a positive number? Negative 44. How many solutions? How many solutions? Don't say negative 44 solutions. How many solutions? None. Okay? No solutions because that's a negative number. Okay, hold on. We're interrupting for station identity. No, we won't be done because we have to do a word problem. Okay, here's a you try. You try. Okay? So we have 5x squared. 5x squared plus 8 equals 2x. How many solutions? Now remember, before you do this, you have to get the 2x over onto the left side and get it equal to 0. So to do this one, all you have to do is we subtracted the 2x from both sides. So I'm going to take my 2x and move it over to the left side. Minus 2x, minus 2x. And you want to keep this thing in order so that it goes 5x squared minus 2x plus 8 equals 0. That's why I subtracted that. So b squared minus 4ac is negative 2 squared, right? Minus 4 times a, which is 5, times c, which is 8. And when I do that, negative 2 squared is what? Negative 2 times negative 2, 4. And negative 4 times positive 5 times 8 is a big negative 160, I believe. Yes? And so you get that number is definitely negative, right? Negative 156. And all you have to know is since that is a negative number, there's no solution. Isn't that easy? Easy, right? Okay. So last thing we're going to do is a word problem. So hold on. I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to show it to you. I have it on my little disk drive here somewhere. And first I'm going to pause for station break recording. Look, there's a nice example for you. So let's keep going. Negative 28 is order of operations. Simplify negative 19. And then it says no solution. Look, I'm doing it right. Let's move on to, okay, so here's a word problem. So partial, place capture, new page. So this is that one. If this were a test, I would give you that formula that I gave you with that word problem that we just went over. But they're expecting you to plug into this formula that I gave you earlier, okay? Which is H is equal to negative 16 t squared plus bt plus c. And in this case, will the football ever reach a height of 30? So you have to plug in numbers here. So you plug in 30 over here for h. They want to know, will the height ever be equal to 30? And negative 16 t squared. Vt is, what's Vt? What's V? Come on, someone tell me. What's the initial velocity? No, that's the initial height. What's the initial velocity? 40 feet per second. So 40 goes in here. And c is your 3. Okay? Before I can use the discriminant, I have to get 0 on one side of the equation. What do I do, Justin?
Subtract 30.
Very nice. So I'm going to subtract 30 over here. And if I subtract 30 over there, I subtract 30 over here. Okay? So I have negative 16t squared plus 40t plus 3 equals 0. You can put the 0 over here, it doesn't matter. Okay? So now I'm going to do b squared minus 4ac. So b, and this is b. So So it's 40 squared minus 4 times A, which is negative 16, times C, which is positive 3. Right? Here's A, here's B, here's C. Right? And so 40 squared I happen to know is 1,600. I also know that 3 times 16 is 48, and 48 times 4 is 192. Whoa, this guy is smart. Yeah, that's right, he's a math teacher. Okay, plus 192, I believe, right? Negative times a negative makes a positive, guys? Should I do something wrong?
Shouldn't we have subtracted 30?
Yeah, should be minus.
What?
Should be minus 27.
What a maroon. I guess he's not that smart, this math teacher, is he? Now, you out there watching in video land, that's the first mistake I've ever made, math mistake, okay? Thank you. So, no, that wasn't the first mistake. So this becomes a negative 27. So now I'm not smart enough to multiply those numbers in my head. So I'm going to grab my calculator. You can grab a calculator. Blake's going to do it for me. 4 times 16 times 27. What do you get, Blake?
1,728.
1,728. Thank you. And it's negative because I have a negative times a negative times a negative, right? So when I subtract these two, am I going to get a negative number or a positive number? Negative or positive?
Negative.
Negative 128. So how many solutions do I have? How many solutions? 0. No solutions. Because this number is negative. So in other words, if you were to take a football and kick it in the air, starting it at 3 feet and giving it a kick at 40 feet per second, I don't know if that's very fast or not, but it's not going to reach up to this y equals 30 line. That's kind of what this is saying. So will this football, if I kick it up, will it ever reach that high? Okay, so if you're like the kicker, maybe you're playing kicker for the football team. You want to know, hey, is my football ever going to go high enough to clear the goalpost or something? You could actually use it. All right, so that's about it. Your homework I have made relatively easy. Page 556. I made it short, right? And you do have to show some work. Don't just write no solution, one solution, or no solution. Show that you plugged into b squared minus 4ac. Numbers 1 through 3, 5 through 17 odd. You can finish this in class without any problems. It's a short homework assignment, okay? Ready, set. We're going to stop recording now. And remember, you've heard it here on the Leaders Edge channel.